Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, and award recipients. Welcome to Diabetes Hope Foundation's annual Scholarship Awards Ceremony, where we recognize stellar young adults and their achievements with diabetes. Today, nestled amongst the trees and luscious greens of Bayview Golf and Country Club, we celebrate 25 years of hope. Now, without further ado, please welcome to the podium the founder and chair of Diabetes Hope Foundation and 22 recipients of the Canadian Victorious Service Medal Civil Division for her tireless work supporting youth with diabetes. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Barbara Pasternak.
Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone. And thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today to celebrate 25 years, to honor 48 scholarship recipients. We are thrilled to be celebrating 2 milestones today in person. For the last 4 years, we were celebrating our scholarships virtually. So we are thrilled that we are here together to feel the energy, and we're just thrilled. So thank you. Once a year, we come together to celebrate our champions of hope, to thank our sponsors, including our parents, and of course, acknowledge the clinical partners who have really an amazing job in giving the tools that they need for our kids to succeed. To our event sponsors, the Jeremy and Judith Foundation, Friedman Foundation, Medtronic, Fluid Hose and Coupling, the Diabetes Leadership Foundation, and the INVECA supporting this event today. Thank you. To our esteemed board members, our scholarship advisory committee, our generous donors, and our dedicated health practitioners, we thank you for taking your time to share resources and support the work we do. To our alumni, our volunteers, thank you for being inspiring role models, for sharing your experiences, and for being a source of strength and encouragement to those who follow. I also like to thank and acknowledge my team, whose tireless energy, brilliant work ethic is responsible for so much work that the foundation does. Vivian Lee, Karen Higginson, Heather Miller, Candice Miller, and Anita Nardella. I am so proud to call them not only my colleagues, but dear friends, and some of them we shared over 15 years working together. Can you please stand up? Last but not least, I need to thank my husband for standing behind me and helping me in fighting against many odds. In trials and travails, I have no words to express my gratitude for your relentless support. Happy occasion will remain incomplete if I do not raise a toast to all of you. The credit of achieving that what we have, getting the chance to stand here today and talk about all this and being able to bring this accomplishment goes to nobody else but everyone who has been behind Diabetes Hope Foundation. And now for our guests of honor, this year's 2023 scholarship recipients. We want you to know that everyone here today is here to honor you. Where are you? Can you stand up? Scholarship recipient. Sure. This is a hybrid event, so we have about 15 scholarship recipients on camera. So let's wave to our scholarship recipients. Thank you for joining us. Don't we just love modern technology? Yes, so you have successfully balanced your health, your academics, your community involvement, and have demonstrated your resilience, your fortitude, and your leadership. Be proud of your achievements today. Honestly, with a celebration of 2 milestones, I have so much to share with you this afternoon. It may seem like a marathon, but stick with me. We'll cross the finish line together. Today, we have an opportunity to hear from our directors, our alumni guests, our speakers, and meet our donors and connect with the DHF community. In celebration of our 25th year, the scholarship ceremony will be followed by a community of hope celebration, honoring our alumni with great music, games, barbecue, fun, and I really suggest everyone stick around and enjoy the festivities. So get comfortable. I guarantee you will be inspired with our honorable guest speakers and stars of the show, our 2023 scholarship recipients. Diabetes Hope Foundation's goal from the beginning was to inspire our scholarship recipients to learn and gain valuable experience, which have empowered them to move into their adult life as strong adults. Through our community programs, Foundation delivers hope for their education, self-management, and future independence. Running a foundation is like having a family. We build it with our heart, putting our blood and sweat into it, solely one purpose to fulfill, that it makes it grow and flourish. For the last 25 years, we have seen it all: success, failures, highs and lows, celebration, crises, everything. The one thing which we never did was to give up. We have built trust in each other and our commitment towards the community. The commitment to our kids are the factors which have brought us together today. Before we get into the formal part of the afternoon, I'd like to take a step back and speak to you from my heart to share the story about DHF. My own story is like many families who are actually here today. Before diabetes moved into my family's home and our lives, we were an everyday run-of-the-mill hockey family. My husband Joe was the coach, our eldest son Harley was the trainer, and Bobby and Jesse were on the ice. In 1994, we were knocked off course by this unrelenting silent foe, type 1 diabetes. Joe and I were blindsided with our two youngest boys, both diagnosed within years apart. We knew nothing about the disease other than that our lives were about to change dramatically. Everything turned on a dime, such speed that our heads were spinning as we realized we had a new uninvited house guest that we never wanted to leave. Once we stopped trying to understand how did this happen, a question there is never a good enough answer for, we had to learn, and we had to learn it really fast, how this works. Early on, Joe and I made the decision to make sure that no matter what, we would let our kids be kids. We wanted them to know that they not only live with diabetes, but thrive with it and grow up to be healthy and strong and become whoever they wanted to be. This journey was not one that could be done on our own. We realized early that it does take a village to raise a child, and plus a team of dedicated healthcare professionals to raise a child living with a chronic illness. It was through this team that I found out about Camp Karanda, a magical place for kids living with diabetes that both my boys attended. Through the camp, kids started to build lifelong friendships because they no longer were alone with diabetes. They were our kids, but just like themselves, and it sort of makes diabetes be normal. After my sons returned from camp, I knew I had found my life's calling. I wanted to help children and other children and their families cope with living with diabetes. Camp Karanda is where I started. 27 years ago, Joe and I recruited our dear friends and business associates and held our first golf tournament to raise money to support Camp Karanda. In the first 2 years, we raised enough money to build a new dock, and in subsequent 10 years, we helped build nurses and doctors' cabins, assisted rebuilding in the infirmary, plus purchased brand new saddles to support the riding program, and sent nearly a dozen kids, newly diagnosed kids, to camp. It was actually this time that one of my friends said that we were giving hope to so many kids, and that's what stuck with me. As my kids grew up, diabetes was with us through each stage of life. And I saw firsthand how important the stage of transitioning from adolescence to adulthood was. Through research and conversation with clinics across Canada, I recognized how important successful transition is because it helps ensure continued management to prevent any complications. 25 years ago, there was no support available for young adults as they left the holistic care of pediatric. But more importantly, there was no recognition available for these kids for their hard work and the vigilance that they had to do every single day of their lives. And so in 1999, Diabetes Hope Foundation was launched as a call to arms. I started the hard work of reaching out to donors through my network and across the diabetes community to bring people together to celebrate these amazing kids. The scholarship program not only provides needed financial support to students in their post-secondary school, but it also is the perfect opportunity to motivate, applaud, and reward hard work to stay healthy. With the support of our longtime donors, alumni, and clinicians, we have gone from awarding 4 scholarships in 1999 to a record 48 scholarships today, bringing our 25-year total to 900 scholarships awarded across the country. Diabetes has changed drastically since DHF. At the time, pig insulin, large syringes, and finger pokes was the only way of managing this disease. Kids and parents had to stay on top of it to make sure that kids were healthy. Today, while technological advancements have made diabetes management easier, the mental toll of living with chronic illness persists. Recognizing this, DHF has worked over the last 10 years to broaden our reach and impact by designing resources and programming to support the mental health of youth living with diabetes. Powered by our alumni community, who I'm forever grateful for their commitment in paying it forward, have developed our Hope Connects Peer Mentorship Program in our virtual wellness webinars in response to the effect of COVID-19. These programs, youth across the country, with valuable information support ensuring that the resources, education, and opportunities to thrive in every aspect of their lives as they navigate the transition and build a strong foundation for living healthy lives. The one thing that I always wanted my kids to believe in, that just because they have diabetes, it shouldn't hold them back from anything. And today, I'm very proud of all my 3 kids for achieving such a magnificent personal and professional life. And I'm excited to give the same hope across the country. As we award today's scholarship, I want you to know that we're not only recognizing phenomenal students' commitment to their health, but also the leadership, their commitment to academics, and how they have given it back. Today, we're celebrating you and cheering you on, and we thank you for being here. As you prepare for your post-secondary journey, we want you to know that you don't have to do it yourself. I want you to know that DHF is here to guide you through the process and to share all these wonderful resources that we've created for your support. And now, please join me in recognizing 48 scholarship winners, amazing young adults who refuse to let obstacles stand in their way. Let's give them another round of applause. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to Chair of the Scholarship Program, our esteemed Dr. Angela Simone. I have to give you a little introduction. Dr. has been a dedicated and committed to our programs for almost 2 decades. Dr. Simone is the heart and soul of the scholarship program. Integrity, insight, and inclusiveness are the great qualities of our Dr. Simone. He possesses, and we are honored to have him on the board of directors and at the helm of our scholarship advisory board. Dr. Simone is a pediatric endocrinologist who received a medical degree at University of Toronto in 1990. Sorry, I didn't want to. He went on to do his fellowship of pediatrics at UT at Sick Kids Hospital. He completed a subspecialty training of pediatric endocrinology, also at Hospital for Sick Kids. After spending over 20 years in training, Dr. Simone established a regional diabetes program at Trillium Health Center in Mississauga, where he continues to practice. He also lectures at the U of T Mississauga Academy, teaching next generation of medical leaders. And now I turn over to Dr. Simone.
Thank you, Barb, and welcome everybody. And Barb and Your Honor, I did not use ChatGPT to generate. It's an inside joke.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring my glasses, so I can't read what's on the phone. So I'm going to speak from the heart.
Oh, it's best.
But yeah, you're one of the reasons why I remain involved. You have to be, I think, more than me, reason why I remained involved. The second reason is as a physician, I see the benefits of this scholarship. I've seen my own patients become recipients of somewhere in the audience. Yeah, there are several in the audience today. And that's just exhilarating for me to know that I can become involved with an organization that gives back and that I can see the direct effects of what we do. And awarding these scholarships today, this is at the core of our mission. Everybody, I think, on our committee and also at the board level truly believe in this. So thank you for your support and helping us do our job in the scholarship committee. And to all the recipients, congratulations. You won over the hearts of all the scholarship committee members. We read a record number of applications this year and are awarding a record number of scholarships. And we've awarded our 900th scholarship. I think that's an incredible accomplishment. You won over our hearts because you showed that you are able to balance a whole bunch of things at the same time. You can take care of yourselves, you can take care of your physical body, your academics, take care of your emotional health, take care of your communities, and take care of your families. And you did so with incredible courage and resilience. Those are the key words that now become part of the scholarship and how we award the scholarship points and how we eventually decide who gets a scholarship and who doesn't. We wish we could have awarded credit funds to award many more scholarships than we did. All of you recipients, you are now the alumni. So we need you to stay involved, come back, and to help us out. And I acknowledge the alumni that are in the audience and here today to help with this event. All right. So I'm supposed to say a few words about the program itself and our objectives. Once again, it's to provide youth in transition with peer education and resources, the transition from pediatric to adult care, and to reward and provide financial assistance to young adults transitioning to post-secondary education, to encourage and identify future leaders in our community who have demonstrated active volunteerism and leadership, and to identify youth who have achieved success in their diabetes care and can be a role model for others living with diabetes. How are the winners selected? This changes almost every year, which is wonderful because it's a dynamic process. We have a scholarship committee, and every year we meet in the fall and we decide, are we going to make any changes? Are we going to assign points differently? So the rubric changes every year. I think that's a wonderful thing. It truly has evolved from rewarding early academics and health and diabetes care to one that acknowledges all the other challenges that young people face. So the percentage, the distribution of points you can see there is in constant flux, but the essay still remains a key piece of that, and that's where we really get to know the individuals and hear their stories. So as mentioned, we have awarded now 900 scholarships over the life of the DHF. The bulk from Ontario, but a scattering now across the country. And I think apart from, other than Quebec now, we are coast to coast. Right? And here's once again a nod to how this works, and we continue to provide what we do by tapping into the alumni. So we encourage the alumni to remain involved. Please don't forget about us, pay it forward. There are a number of activities in which you can participate. Feel free to talk to Barb or I at any time while you're here. When you get out there and you start earning lots of cash, you know where to put it. Right? Okay. That's all I have to say. We issue receipts. We issue receipts. All right. Welcome everybody and have a great day.
All right, thank you, Dr. Simone. We didn't use ChatGPT either, I promise. Hello, everyone. My name is Asta, and I was sitting where you are 4 years ago at my own DHF scholarship ceremony. So it's truly full circle to be on this side of the podium today.
Hi, everyone. I'm also very grateful to celebrate this moment with you all. My name is Ethan, and I was a scholarship recipient in 2021. My ceremony was online, so all the scholarship recipients and members of the DHF community joining us virtually, welcome.
Ethan, I gotta admit, I'm just waiting for someone's pump or CGM alarm to go off and for all the diabetics to look at mine.
That's so funny. I was thinking the exact same thing. Folks, just out of respect for speakers and the scholarship recipients today, let's just take a moment to mute our phones and our diabetes alarms just to not disturb the flow.
And we've got such a special and good-looking group in the audience today. People whose pancreas might not run on functional beta cells,
but they do run on hope, resilience, and support from family, friends, and healthcare teams. And now with DHF, a community like none other.
What Ethan and I both find incredible about the DHF community is, as was mentioned, your involvement doesn't stop today when you get your scholarship. You can contribute as mentees, mentors, event volunteers, etc. And even the pandemic couldn't stop DHF. So several of us alum actually from different university clubs, we came together to run virtual events, and we actually were more connected than ever.
Also, there's so many amazing resources that DHF provides for incoming university students like yourselves. I've had the privilege of being a panelist on several workshops and webinars focusing on university topics, like making healthy food choices, prioritizing overall health and well-being, advocating for yourself, accessing support systems, and so many more. There are a wide variety of these webinars, which are all available on DHF's YouTube channel. Furthermore, as many of you can likely attest to, the DHF Transition app is another great resource to access university-specific information.
And it's so exciting to speak to you all today because you are the future mentors, the future execs of these diabetes clubs. And hey, maybe you'll even be scholarship ceremony speakers. We're now going to be passing the mic on to our guest speakers who will be sharing insight into their experiences with DHF.
Firstly, I'd like to call upon our guest board of directors speaker, Peter Atkins. Peter has been a member of the DHF board of directors since 2002. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 14. He's a district chief with Toronto Fire Services and has worked as a firefighter for more than 34 years. Peter volunteers with DHF as the board vice chair, a golf committee member, and as a member of the scholarship advisory committee. Please join me in welcoming Peter.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Congratulations. Thrilled to be in attendance at another scholarship ceremony. As mentioned, this is what we do. This is the program that really gives us great pride, and so we're always thrilled when this ceremony takes place. To all of you out there in the audience who are young and living with diabetes, I know how you feel. I was 14 when I learned I have diabetes. Wow, that was a while ago now. And I had all the same questions that you might have had. How is this going to change my life? Will they cure it? That, of course, remains in the back of our brains all the time. Are my parents going to be able to cope with this? And are they going to, and am I going to be able to cope with this? Life goes on, and it can be a life without limits. Young people living with diabetes learn a discipline about life and their health that often makes them healthier and more successful than a person without diabetes. After all, we're not here this afternoon because any of these young scholarship recipients are average. They are, in fact, exceptional. You are models of success. I know I've read your applications for days and days and days. It's an honor to do so, to read some of the great stories and heartfelt expression of what you're going through with diabetes and the challenges that you faced and the accomplishments that you've achieved. There are challenges for being a young person living with diabetes. After I went through my transition from high school to university, I graduated and decided I wanted to become a firefighter. The problem at the time, nobody hired diabetics in the firefighting profession. It was too dangerous. They tried to place a limit on my dream, and did I have a news flash for them? Perseverance, determination, hope, and resolve saw them engaged in a fight that they were not going to win, and they didn't. I did. I became the first person with diabetes in Canada to be hired as a firefighter and moved to active duty. As a result, the rules changed in many other professions. Today, any one of you can apply for and be hired as a firefighter, a pilot, a police officer, a driver, a scuba diver, or a multitude of other occupations that were previously off limits. You can do whatever you set your mind to. You set the limits. My advice to you all is don't have any limits. Don't accept anybody saying to you, no, you can't. You absolutely can. My determination came from diabetes. This is a disease about responsibility and opportunity. You may not know it now, but you will. You've been given an opportunity to succeed, and much of it comes from living with diabetes. You learn from what you've been dealt. Be smart with your health. This disease is about caring for yourself. Take responsibility. Keeping your A1Cs in the acceptable range requires a lot of hard work. That changes you as a human being and makes you stronger. Ultimately, this disease doesn't stop you from living a life without limits. It actually teaches you how to overcome them. I'm proud of all that you have done to deserve your scholarships. I wish you unlimited success in your future endeavors. Congratulations. Now go make your mark on the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. That was incredibly inspirational. I'd now like to call our next guest board of directors speaker, Jeremy Friedman. Jeremy has been a member of the DHF board of directors since 2000. Jeremy began his professional career as a trial lawyer in 1986. And after 14 years of practice, in 2000, he joined Gluskin Sheff and was appointed CEO in 2010. After 15 years of leading the firm, he retired. Jeremy and his wife, Judith, head the Jeremy and Judith Friedman Family Foundation and have been longtime supporters of DHF. Welcome.
Thank you. I would also speak from the heart, but I was a lawyer once, so that's going to be difficult to do. I just want to say, first of all, what an honor it is to serve with Barb, Peter, and Angelo, and the rest of our board in the work that they do. It is remarkable. You've heard from them, and you can well understand why I and the rest of the board would feel that way. Really tremendous, remarkable leadership of what you do. Thank you. I'm quite delighted to see so many people here to celebrate the accomplishments of this year's scholarship winners. And I want to add my congratulations to both the award recipients as well as their families, who have no doubt played a very significant role in helping these special young people get to this point in their lives in such a successful way. And those of us involved with the Diabetes Hope Foundation are very proud of you, and we're thrilled to be a part of your evolving story. Now, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share a few observations about what I have learned in my own 41 years in counting diabetic journey. And I hope these observations prove to be of some value to both the young diabetics in the room, as well as to their family members, at what is a transitional time for both groups. Now, my official diagnosis occurred on April 22nd, 1982, which was the last day of my law school classes. When I entered hospital in units that would be familiar to you guys, my blood sugar was 45. And I spent 17 days in hospital before they could get it stabilized, given the crude tools that were available at the time. Incredibly, my best friend at the time had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes almost exactly 1 year before. And prior to my own diagnosis, whenever I saw him administer his insulin, I thought to myself, thank goodness that isn't me. I could never do that. A year later, there I was giving myself my own multiple injections daily and handling somewhat confidently my own diabetic care. In all its aspects, it helped me realize that I was tougher and more capable than I had previously believed or given myself credit for. So the first point I want to make to you is that since you've already proven that you're capable of managing your diabetes, something as complex and as challenging as diabetes, you can rightly draw on this discipline and strength when other of life's speed bumps, inevitable speed bumps, arise. And they surely will. But you've already proven that you're up to the task of handling difficult challenges. So the bottom line is that you're tough, you're capable, and you're resilient. So have faith and confidence in yourselves as you go through the transition to this next exciting stage of your lives. As they say today, you've got this. Now, 2.5 years after my diagnosis, I went to business school. And in my class was a student who was a hemophiliac. His blood lacked the ability to clot. So even a minor cut could be extremely dangerous and potentially life-threatening. His regular routine involved giving himself injections of clotting agent. But unlike my insulin needles, his were very large. And rather than taking his needles under the skin, he had to inject the clotting agent directly into his veins. And learning this, I thought, thank goodness that isn't me. I could never do that. And then I remembered that I'd had that same reaction only a few years earlier. This brought home to me the realization that whatever thoughts I had about my own challenges as a diabetic, there were and will always be others who have challenges that are far greater than my own. And this awareness helped me avoid being overwhelmed by my own challenges and adopt an attitude of actually gratefulness regarding my own circumstances. And as we know, attitude is a large part of winning the battle. And the path got a lot easier when I actually took stock of the silver linings that were in my life because I was a type 1 diabetic. And the silver linings are there. I just needed to figure out where to look for them. So let me share with you a few of the positives that I've seen and experienced since I joined the type 1 diabetic fraternity over 41 years ago. The need to maintain a healthy weight, that's a good thing. To stick to a healthy diet, thank you very much, I'll take that. Regular exercise, that's an absolute positive. Regular health monitoring by your doctors, sometimes inconvenient, but definitely a big overall health benefit. Learning a disciplined life habits, skill set that will help you in any number of aspects of your personal and professional lives. And that's just a quick list that immediately comes to mind about the silver linings, the battle that you've already been winning and winning well. It all comes down to attitude, and the fact is you've already proven you can do this. I also want to comment that we're very fortunate to be at a time when we're seeing real advances in our ability to manage our blood sugars. When I was a young diabetic in my early 20s, a time when my kids believed dinosaurs still roamed the earth, there were no glucometers. Rather, the way you crudely estimated your sugar levels was to apply a urine sample to a chemical strip, wait 1 or 2 minutes to see what color the little strip had turned, hold it up to the bottle and try to see what range you fell in, and then from there, as imprecise as it was, and subject to large, wide interpretation errors, the biggest drawback was that the information was basically hours old. It wasn't your current blood sugar. It was the blood sugar of reading of which had spilled into your urine. So, given the slow process for sugars to find their way into your urine, you really didn't quite know where your sugars were. You knew where they had been. Then we saw the remarkable invention of the take-home glucometer. At the beginning, they were large, they were bulky. You had to prick your finger, of course, to get a blood sample. And then there were a number of other steps you had to go through before you got a number, you got a reading. course, this was a transformational development and remarkable to know your actual blood sugar at that moment. But as we know, there are still some limitations with this. And as great and as advanced as it was, unless you did multiple finger pricks and readings over the next little while, you knew where you were, but you didn't know what direction you were headed. You didn't know if you were going up or you're going down. Now we have continuous glucose monitors like the Dexcom, the Freestyle Libre, and others. And with these tools, we not only know our sugars, but we know the direction they're going, and we know at what rate. And we can know this information as often as we like without having to prick our fingers. This is another incredible step forward for our community. 41 years ago, frankly, this would have seemed like science fiction to me. And the point I want to make is that the tools for us to manage our sugars and our overall health have advanced so significantly, and they will continue to do so, making it easier and less intrusive for us to manage our diabetes until the day comes when there is a real and implementable cure for diabetes. And I wholeheartedly believe you will see that day as highly skilled researchers using the tools of artificial intelligence and eventually quantum computing will unlock the key. And by continuing to effectively monitor and manage your diabetes until that day arrives, you're positioning yourself to do all the great things that life has in store for you. There are truly, as Peter said and I echo, no limits to what you can do and what you can achieve. And actually, the disciplines that you have learned and adopted in managing your diabetes so well will help you in just about every other area of your life, personal or professional, and whatever path you choose to walk. The Diabetes Hope Foundation has now been around for 25 years, and it's here to help you on that journey. And I hope you'll remain connected and involved with us as the years go by. We're here to support you and others like you. And as diabetics, we should all work to help one another. You've achieved great things in reaching this latest milestone in your lives, and I wish you best wishes as you continue to write your own amazing lives.
Thank you, Jeremy. I would now like to introduce our first guest alumni speaker, Lane Barnfield. Lane received the Insolent Canada Scholarship in 2022 and has just completed her first year of the Bachelor of One Health program at the University of Guelph. Lane enjoys pursuing sports as well as spending time outdoors. At university, she plays on the women's flag football team and enjoys long-distance running. Lane is also an executive member of the university's environmental club. Welcome, Lane.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lane, and I'm a recipient of the 2022 Diabetes Hope Foundation Scholarship, and now a proud member of the DHF alumni community, just like yourselves. Looking back on my first year at the University of Guelph, studying One Health, I was overcome by a year of constant change, moving cities, making new friends, creating a new routine, and learning to live on my own, all while managing type 1 diabetes. The years following high school are full of excitement, new experiences, and opportunity. But there are certainly years of transition and years where you learn about self-advocacy and independence. The Diabetes Hope Foundation has been such a great resource for me over the past year, and I have really felt the support of the scholarship program, not only from the financial assistance for university, but also because of the sense of community and the connection that is felt within the foundation. This past year, I participated in the DHF mentorship program, which acted as an incredible resource as I navigated my first year at post-secondary. I was paired with my mentor, Taspia, from a different university, but despite the distance and living in different cities, I always felt connected to her. And I was always constantly reached out to and felt supported by receiving her emails or texts, checking in to see how I was doing. The summer before university, I was also working as a camp counselor, and the prospect of starting school and moving away from home wasn't entirely on my radar. However, during the summer, Taspia reached out to me to introduce herself, give me a sense of what first year would be like, and answer all the questions that I had. She definitely helped me to get into the university mindset and ease my transition to school. She was always there to offer advice on anything from navigating diabetes conversations with professors to eating in class and using student accessibility services. All things I would not have known if it wasn't for the mentorship program. Throughout this year, I felt included and supported through my connection with DHF. DHF has organized many virtual gatherings where I've been able to participate in meet and greets with my mentor and other mentor pairs, and meet other incoming students and share my experience at university with them through the Get Transition Ready webinar series. During these virtual events, I've been able to meet other DHF alumni, some of whom actually attend the same school as me. The Diabetes Hope Foundation has provided me with support and confidence throughout this past year. The idea of beginning a new chapter in your lives may seem overwhelming, but knowing that you have the support system like the DHF to help guide you in your transition is very empowering. In the years to come, get involved with your school communities, try new things, expand your minds, and enjoy every step in the process. Know that the Diabetes Hope Foundation community will always be there to support you and your journey with T1D. I hope you all have a wonderful time connecting with your peers and fellow scholarship recipients. A huge congratulations to all of you on your achievements and all that is to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Lane. And you'll notice with our alumni speakers, we're kind of going back in time. So our next speaker is Natalie, and she was a recipient of the Roche Diagnostics AccuCheck Scholarship in 2018. After receiving her scholarship, Natalie completed her Bachelor of Health Sciences at McMaster University. Natalie is a tutor for high school students in math and sciences, and also works with elementary school children to support their literacy development. Welcome, Natalie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie, and I hope you're all having a good afternoon so far. I was a Diabetes Hope Foundation Scholarship recipient about 5 years ago now, and that ceremony is actually our 20th anniversary. So, like today, it was a big event, lots of people to meet, and attending the ceremony was really meaningful to me personally. Just for some context, when I was diagnosed when I was 13 years old and up until and throughout high school, I'd have my diabetes largely hidden. I didn't want to feel different from the people around me at school, and I kind of would keep my devices, my snacks away from other people. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I was depriving myself of a very meaningful sense of community and support. So fast forward to the 2018 ceremony that I attended. For the first time since being diagnosed, I was surrounded by people with diabetes. I wasn't the only person in the room wondering where to put my insulin pump, or where to put my low snacks, and I was able to make connections with people who I might not have otherwise met, or at the very least, not have known that they had diabetes as well. So a few months later, I moved to Hamilton for my first year at McMaster University, and the sense of community and confidence that I got from the 2018 ceremony was something that I took with me in my first year at university. In the first few days of living on campus, I actually met one of my best friends to this day. And as we're walking across campus in that first week of school, my blood sugar went low. And as I'm downing fruit snacks, I explained to her that I have diabetes, and we actually discovered a really wild connection. Her childhood best friend, Abby O'Connor, was actually a DHF scholarship recipient in the exact same year as me. And so just a few months prior, I guess I would have met her at the ceremony, but I didn't know it at the time. And now years later, Abby and I are still in contact, and we're able to lean on each other for support. Just recently, we were chatting about traveling with diabetes since we're both traveling this summer. Like Lane, I've definitely learned that the diabetes community and the DHF community is a lot smaller than you think. Being part of this community has definitely been super impactful for me personally, and has provided me with a level of support that I just didn't have before 2018. So for those of you who are receiving your scholarships today, remember that DHF is filled with people you can lean on and connect with. Reach out and know you're not alone in navigating a new school this September. And please don't be afraid to be open and let community in. Thank you.
Thanks, Natalie. Our next speaker is Rob. Rob received a Novo Nordisk sponsored scholarship in 2013. As a student at Toronto Metropolitan University, she completed her Bachelor of Science, Occupational Health and Safety, and HR Management certificate. When she's not working in the field of HR, Rob is volunteering and exploring her creative side through embroidery and making mini libraries. She also loves to make others laugh. Welcome, Rob.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending DHF's 25th scholarship ceremony. My name is Rav, like ravishing, and 10 years ago, I received my scholarship. I was diagnosed with type 1 when I was fairly young, and I grew up feeling very isolated due to the cultural stigma around chronic conditions. Like Natalie, I didn't really know any type 1s until the last few months of grade 12, which is when I became part of the DHF community. Some of the scholarship recipients I met back then and along the way would end up changing my life. I finally felt so seen and heard when I connected to others living with diabetes. Conversations that felt like the end of the world during high school suddenly became so normalized. These talks would be around advocating for myself and asking for help, changing clinics or trying new diabetes tech, dating and relationships, dealing with diabetes in a South Asian family, embracing all the chaos diabetes has to offer, setting boundaries, and showing yourself some grace. The DHF community has shown me that my relationship with diabetes will be nonlinear. There will be days when I feel proud of my hard work paying off, and there will also be days when I feel overwhelmed and weighed down. There's a lot of shame and stigma around diabetes, and by accepting that diabetes and I won't always see eye to eye, I have removed all the pressure to be perfect, and it is so freeing. Being kinder and less self-critical helps me celebrate all my wins on my terms while seeing the bigger picture. I'm not sure if I would have this approach if I didn't join the DHF community. Realizing that we're not alone can help us feel more supported. Part of my self-compassion journey has led me to finding others living with diabetes and other health-related issues, and it's really helped to open my eyes and normalize the ebb and flow that comes with living with diabetes. And I can bring that energy into my professional life, my personal life, and especially when I'm advocating for others and myself in a healthcare setting. I truly love being a mentor with DHF. I get to learn so much from my mentees, and I try my best to be the person that I desperately needed when I was younger. Finding your people, the ones who get it and want to see you really thrive, is one of the greatest things in the world. But you have to try to be that person for yourself too. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon, and remember, every day is an opportunity to celebrate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. What a joy to share the stage with my own mentor and friend. Our last guest speaker for today is Matt, and Matt received the BD Medical Sponsored Scholarship in 2009. Since then, he has completed both his Bachelor of Science in Chemistry and Math and his Bachelor of Education at Queen's University. He currently works as a teacher, and when he's not teaching, he spends time playing with his 2 cats, working out, and working on a novel. Matt, come on up.
Hello, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to Wayne, Natalie, and Rav for your beautiful stories and speeches that you shared with us. I'm Matt. I've had diabetes since 1996 when I turned 5 years old. 14 years ago was 2009, and I was sitting like you guys were, front row. And that's one thing I remember clearly. Sure, I was excited or nervous, maybe even more nervous than I am right now. But what I do remember is that the only guest speaker we had was a pilot who had to face obstacles in the workplace due to diabetes prejudices. Close it up here, yeah. Or it was this other guest speaker we had about he rode his bike from one end of Africa to another. In 2023, you have a high school math teacher as your guest speaker. But, like I said, Peter's close enough. When I first read this first draft to my mom, she told me it was the pilot at my ceremony. She was there, of course. She's there right now, too. And I'm glad she remembered since it's all a blur. And I'm sorry for all the work you put into this ceremony. That's all I remember. I hope you guys have more of a memory than I do. But I've been a part of the DHF for 14 years now. It's hard to keep track of what's what, when's when. It's a lot, but it's 14 ceremonies. You guys were in kindergarten when I got my scholarship. And except for the virtual ones in my messy office, all of those ceremonies have been in a nice venue like this. And celebrating a solid group of young individuals who are good students, active in their communities, and you have diabetes too. So that's the one. I hope you leave here today with a new sense of what your diabetic community has become. Some of you went to a diabetes camp. Some of you only met other diabetics in the clinic. For others, this might be your first time meeting another diabetic like Natalie. However, your own diabetic community started. Now you're part of the DHF. Speaking in this venue today actually is an example of that. 1 year ago today, tomorrow, right? Oh, tomorrow. There you go. Tomorrow, yeah. Rav and I were at our friend Kristen's wedding, Kristen Rivard's wedding. You'll meet her soon, which was held in this venue, interestingly enough. And, we've made friends here. And I hope, what did we do? We peer mentored, we've gone on walks, youth days, youth retreats. When you came here, Kristen, Barbara reminded, you were just like greeting people at the door. And I moved some chairs, and when we were done moving the chairs, Barbara said, "Okay, go join Kristen. I'm greeting people." And look at me now, okay? Look around at your fellow winners joining us via screen. Take the time to introduce yourselves, learn some names. DHF has opened its doors to you, and I promise you won't regret it. As a member of the Scholarship Review Committee, I read some of your scholarships, quite a few of them. Remember, I'm a teacher, so you all got a good grade. And more importantly, I want you to know that your accomplishments would make you stand out from your peers without your diabetes. And today we're here to celebrate that part of you, the diabetic part, especially everything else you've done too. But enjoy yourself, enjoy today, make some friends, and welcome to the DHF.
Now for the awards presentation of our event, we call upon two of our 2022 scholarship recipients, Lenore BZA Callenberg and Bryn Dagerhart, to take the stage and introduce all of you to this year's recipients and donors.
And I'd also like to ask the recipients to please come through the middle and up those stairs, and if our donors can come through the side. Thank you.
Our first recipient receives the Axel Insurance Brokers sponsored scholarship, which is presented and accepted by DHF alumni. Hello. Oh, sorry. Sumona Kapoor from Mississauga, Ontario, will enter university in the fall to study psychology. The Abbott Laboratories Award is presented by Katie Fretz and accepted by DHF alumni on behalf of Jenna Abby Karem, joining us from Windsor, Ontario, and will be attending university to study biomedical sciences. The Ascendia Diabetes Care Awards are presented by Melanie McAllister, and accepted by alumni on behalf of Fadima Mahmood from Nepean, Ontario, and Selena Ryan from St. John's, Newfoundland, who will be both attending university in the fall to study nursing. The Senator Norman K. Atkins Memorial Scholarship is presented by DHS Vice Chair Peter Atkins
and accepted by alumni on behalf of Maren McPherson, joining us virtually from Wisconsin, New Brunswick, studying engineering in the fall. The following BMO Bank of Montreal sponsored scholarships are presented and accepted by DHF alumni. Sarah Callahan from Cortes, Ontario, studying life sciences. Kason Holmes from St. John's, New Brunswick, pursuing a Bachelor of Business degree. Oscar Lucas from Vancouver, British Columbia, studying commerce. Arabella Serafini from Thunder Bay, Ontario, who will be studying kinesiology in the fall. The final BMO Bank of Montreal awards are presented to Curtis Samagulski, is joining us virtually from Sherwood Park, Alberta, and will be pursuing a Bachelor of Commerce degree. And Mario Vistrovetsky, who is here today with his family from Whitby, Ontario, and will be studying computer sciences. Mario? Come on, Mario. Our next award is presented on behalf of the Bulldogs family and friends by Board of Directors member Ted J. Supilo to David Pavlov Consolo, joining us from Guelph, Ontario, who will be attending university to obtain a degree in software engineering. The Canavan Family Scholarship is presented by Board of Directors member Joan Canavan and accepted by DHF alumni on behalf of Leah Dosharm, joining us virtually from Bell River, Ontario, and will be attending university in the fall to study health sciences. The following Aubrey and Marla Dan Foundation sponsored scholarships are presented and accepted by DHF alumni. Jake Maslach from Nelson, British Columbia, going into film studies, and Jake Steele from Ottawa, studying journalism. Joining us to accept his award is Mushir Siddiqui from Toronto, who will be focusing his studies on one-track engineering. The scholarships sponsored by Dexcom Canada are presented by Andre Coates to Ethan Bensick, joining us from Oakville, Ontario, received the Special Athletic Scholarship and will be studying System Design Engineering in the fall. Joining us virtually are recipients Gavin O'Sullivan from Victoria, British Columbia, who will be studying kinesiology, and Caleb Stewart from Stevensville, Ontario, who will be studying human geography in the fall. The DHF Alumni Legacy Scholarship is presented and accepted by Raven Matt to Rain Magement from Lombardy, Ontario, and she will be attending university to study kinesiology. They're good. We ask that all present board members please take the stage to present the DHF Board of Directors sponsored scholarship to Aidan Boland, joining us from Toronto, Ontario, who will be pursuing a degree in concurrent education.
The scholarship sponsored by Diabetes Canada is presented by Laura Siren and Sonia Young to Katie Asselstein, joining us from Oshawa, Ontario, who will be pursuing a degree in communication and media studies. The Diabetes Leadership Foundation scholarships are presented by DHF alumni to Mackenzie Beecher from Calgary, Alberta, and will be studying nutrition and food sciences. And Corinne Ratzel, joining us from Whitby, Ontario, who will be pursuing studies in chemistry. The scholarships sponsored by Embacta are presented by Jen Spirin to Dylan Bauknish, joining us virtually from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and will be studying dentistry. Carson Krakowski, joining us from Barrie, Ontario, who will be studying electrical engineering technology.
Thank you.
The scholarships sponsored by Fluid House and Coupling are presented by Joe Pasternak and Paul Rice and accepted by DHF alumni on behalf of Clara Layfield from Humboldt, Saskatchewan, who will be studying biomedical sciences, and Ella Madsen, joining us virtually from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, who will be pursuing studies in civil engineering. The scholarship sponsored by the Jeremy and Judith Friedman Family Foundation is presented by Jeremy Friedman and accepted by an alumni on behalf of Vivian Bruce from Lake County, British Columbia, who will be pursuing a Bachelor of Arts degree. Grace Dalton, joining us from Oakville, Ontario, who will be pursuing studies in biomedical science. The Gerson and Humphrey Family Scholarship is presented by alumni to Jasmine Lowe, joining us from Richmond Hill, Ontario, and will be studying life sciences at university. The Gluskin Chef Scholarship is presented by Emily Benheim and accepted by alumni on behalf of Yasu Germa from Vancouver, British Columbia, who will be studying mechanical engineering. The Laura Eileen Higginson Memorial Scholarship is presented by Karen Higginson to Anatole, joining us from Jackson's Point, Ontario, and will be studying travel industry management. The scholarships sponsored by Intuit Omnipod will be presented by an alumni to Shams Al-Zubaydi, joining us from Mississauga, Ontario, studying life sciences. Alyssa Fabiano, joining us virtually from Thunder Bay, Ontario, pursuing a degree in nursing. And Elizabeth Urbani from North Vancouver, British Columbia, studying English literature. The JDRF Canada Scholarship is presented by Monica Cox-Murrah to Anne Peterborough, joining us from Etobicoke, Ontario, and will be studying English and creative writing. The scholarships sponsored by Medtronic of Canada will be presented by Deborah Samuel and Omar Martinez to Wade Cully, joining us from Georgetown, Ontario, and will be pursuing a degree in sociology with a minor in music. Ugnias Dauxis from Calgary, Alberta, pursuing a degree in biomedical science. Carly Garcia joining us from Scarborough, Ontario, and pursuing a degree in nursing. The following Novo Nordisk sponsored scholarships are presented and accepted by DHF alumni. Alaya Cook, joining us virtually from Beaverbank, Nova Scotia, studying medical sciences. Michaela French from Alliston, Ontario, studying wildlife biology. Emma Jane Jones, joining us virtually from St. John's, Newfoundland, and will be studying marine biology. And Grace Marisiski, joining us virtually from Red Rock, Ontario, who will be studying kinesiology in the fall. The Pasternak Family Scholarship is presented by Barbara, Joe, Carly, Jesse, and Bobby Pasternak to Julia Kakamo, joining us from Toronto, Ontario, and will be studying ecology and evolutionary biology. The Marlene Perkins Memorial Scholarship is presented by Malcolm Perkins to Angelina Vastidas, joining us from Brampton, Ontario, and will be pursuing a degree in English and Cultural Studies. The Sigulum's Family Scholarship is presented by Sal, Andrea, and Ariel Sigulum to an alumni accepting on behalf of Abby Mercer from Wolfville, Nova Scotia, who will be pursuing a degree in economics. Our final award for the Tandem Diabetes Sponsored Scholarship will be presented by Amanda Koski to Jonathan Nussbaum, joining us from Burlington, Ontario, who will be studying industrial design at university in the fall.
Thank you, everyone. We'd like to say a big congratulations to all of our recipients. If we could do a round of applause to our recipients.
I can now have Peter acting soon and Karen back up to the stage.
just have a few things to say on commemorating our 25th anniversary. It goes without saying that Barbara has created an organization that has changed many lives for the better. Imagine that you have 2 children who develop diabetes. So you go out and you start a charity to help with the challenges faced by those facing a similar path. I'm drawn to DHF by its volunteer spirit and the spirit of wanting to help young people with diabetes. And it's an organization that and I've been involved in a number of diabetes charities, but I've been here for a couple of decades now. And the reason is that this charity just does not get lost in the weeds. It really focuses on doing good, helping people. And that's what I have always strived to find in where I spend my time and my energy. And I found myself at home when I found DHL. I've been on this board with Barbara for a couple of decades. I'm drawn by Barbara, her passion, her dedication, her innovation, her determination, and her achievements. So how do we thank the person who is responsible for making this happen? The board of directors was presented with a scholarship recipient named Erin Mercer. Erin is a talented DHF alumni who did the artwork for the book, Nothing Can Stop Me. She also does custom artwork. So what better gift for Barbara commemorating all that DHF has accomplished over the last 25 years than artwork that tells the story? I'm going to ask Karen to step up with the gift. I'm going to ask Barbara to step to the stage. I will ask all of you to later have a look at this piece of art. You will notice that each letter of DHF contains a collage of images that tells the story of Barbara and her foundation of diabetes hope. Barbara, I know you hate this, which is why I've been tasked with doing it. However, on behalf of 900 alumni and the countless other people impacted by diabetes whose lives have been changed by you, thank you. Congratulations.
Wow, Barb, can you believe it's been 25 years already? Many of you don't know this, but I've actually known Barb. We first came in contact with each other 23 years ago when my life was affected by diabetes. I had 5 children, 3 of whom had type 1. Their father also had type 1. And we were struggling financially and emotionally. And along came Barb. You know, my kids and I were able to benefit from the different programs and all the events that we attended. Barb was on a mission, and she had this great vision to bring hope to families just like ours and to fill the gaps that were missing at that time. And over the years, as we participated in all these events and gave back to the community because we were so grateful, we found ourselves members of a bigger community, the community of hope, which is the Diabetes Hope Foundation. It's because of that community that we just didn't feel alone. So on behalf of the board of directors and all of the entire community of hope, we'd like to present this small gift to you as well, Barb, as we celebrate and appreciate everything you've done for the diabetes community. Congratulations from all of us, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Sure. Yeah, let's call the board of directors to the stage for a moment.
We also miss you.
And just before we go anywhere, if we could have the scholarship advisory members come to the stage as well, please.
Looking towards the future, I'm extremely pleased to share with you that after many years of supporting both our scholarship and peer mentorship program, the Aubrey and Marla Dan Foundation have honored DHF with an extraordinary generous funding commitment and to enhance and extend our work to support transitioning youth across Ontario. Over the next 3 years, we will be working to take our Hope Connects peer mentorship program to campuses across the province, as well as building an online community and support for youth as they transition into adulthood. Recognizing that mental health and well-being are an important part of good diabetes management, we are excited to be able to continue building on the work we have done, creating sustainability and resources to support youth. We want to thank the AMDF for their commitment to the mental health of transitioning youth and their belief in DHF to ensure youth living with diabetes are supported as we embark on the next phase. Foundation.
Hi, on behalf of the Aubrey and Marla Dan Foundation, congratulations to the 2023 scholarship recipients, including AMDF-sponsored students Jake Maslach, Leader Siddiqui, and Jake Steele. We're thrilled to be a part of this wonderful initiative to recognize all of the award winners' academic achievements, strong leadership skills, and commitment to successful diabetes self-management. Since 2002, the Aubrey and Marla Dan Foundation has proudly supported 46 young people living with diabetes through scholarship and mentorship programs. It's incredible to see the growth of our long-term partnership with Diabetes Hope Foundation, and we look forward to deepening our relationship with a new program partnership that will impact over 500 students between 2023 and 2026. For those here today, the future is filled with excitement and promise as you pursue your education, and we can't wait to see what you do next. Congratulations.
As we look to the future, we're excited about the possibilities and opportunities that lie ahead, and we are confident that with continued support of everyone here, we can make an even greater impact on the lives of these affected by diabetes. So I put a little poem together for you guys. Okay, this is my final words, I promise. This is it, called Today's Joy. I get emotional, you'll understand. I really need it. I love it if all of us can feel joy feel today. Sure. Our dreams, our prayers, and all our hopes are clearly within sight. As months and years progressed, alarm and fears began to wane. We can look back on the journey and appreciate the gain. Our insights into this disease, when we felt alone, adrift, through technology and treatments, there's been a massive shift. And as our teams begin transitioning to step out there on their own, they're prepared to spread their wings and fly, knowing they're not alone. So go ahead, jump out there, find the calling, find your voice, and take all your tools and guidance. You will make the wisest choice. Congratulations, graduates. You've been tested and you've won. Go grab what's next and rock the world. Your journey's just begun. So thank you to all the volunteers, all the guest speakers. It's been an amazing few hours for, I think, everyone in this room. And for all of you joining us today and making our 25th anniversary very memorable. As we head into the second portion of the event, the Community of Hope celebrations. For those who are staying, please stay. We are putting this wall down or making a big, huge room. We have a DJ, we have a barbecue, we have games, we have a photo booth, which is amazing, and our photographer, of course. So please stay back, enjoy, and thank you again for joining us. Thank you.